and then I'm going to share our screen and we can start. All right, here we go. All right, again, I'm going to do the evens because as you can see, I already did the odds with the other class, so I'll have them posted when you need them, but we will work on the odds next class period. Our primary goal today is get through all of the evens and for you to ask me a question when you don't understand something, okay? So again, we're going to reduce fractions, all right? So again, here's what I want, all right? I always teach kids to go ahead and reduce the numbers first. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 twice. And now you just multiply the numbers. 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 5 is 5, okay? Now what we're doing is we're just going across, looking at the variables. X cubed and X, that means there's 4 X's on the top. There's no X's on the bottom. So that means that there's going to be an X to the 4th on the top. Now I'm looking at the Y's. 1 Y on the top, 5 Y's on the bottom. That means there will be 4 Y's left on the bottom when I cross out. Next thing I have is Z to the 4th, Z to the 5th, leaves me a Z on the top. Now, your job is to make sure that you understand how I got the variables where they are, whether they go in the numerator or whether they go in the denominator. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Speak up for me. I can't hear you. Anybody have any questions?
I understand how you got the letters, but how did you do the first part?
The numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so with the numbers, all right, I'll erase what I have. All right, I looked at the 2, the 3, the 6, and the 10, and I literally just did it like a multiplication. So think back to when you were learning 2/3 times 6/10. We cross-reduced. I divide this by 2, divide this by 2, so that became a 1, that became a 5. Divide by 3, that became a 1. Divide by 3, that became a 2. So then you multiplied straight across. How's that now? Okay. Anybody else have any questions? It's better to get it cleaned up right now than if you wait, okay? Because these are the easy ones. Anybody have any questions? All right. So now let's look here, okay? So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 12 4 times. Now we're just multiplying straight across. 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm looking at x squared and x on the top. That gives me x cubed on the top because there's no x's on the bottom. Then I have z to the 4th, z cubed. That leaves me a z on the top. All right, now I'm looking at y and y to the 3rd. That leaves me with y squared on the bottom. Anybody have any questions with that? Anybody? All right, so 6 is very similar. They're just trying to make sure you got the idea. Okay, so here we go. 4 goes into 4 once. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 5 is 5. How is that, guys? Everybody okay? All right, now let's look at the variables. X squared and x gives me x cubed on the top. And then I'm going to look at y, and y to the 4th gives me y to the third on the bottom. And then I have z cubed and z squared leaves me a z on the top. All right, so please speak up now. Anybody have any questions with that? Anybody? All right, very, very good. Okay. Now here is where we start with this. All we're doing is factoring. All right, so if you're good at factoring, this is easy. All right, which is why I spent extra time 2 weeks ago reviewing factoring. All right, so let's see what we got. A squared minus 10a plus 21. All right, 2 sets of parentheses. A. Factors of 21 that make 10, 3, 7, negative, negative. All right, now I'm factoring over here. A plus 4 minus 3. Okay. Now don't forget, a minus 3 squared is the same as a minus 3 times a minus 3. I just like to write it that way so you can see it better. Now, I also want to make sure that you realize that these now, don't make a mistake. Those are not there anymore. Okay. All right. I don't want you making a mistake with that. All right. So now it's just a matter of crossing things out. A minus 7, a minus 7, a minus 3, a minus 3. Again, you can go up and down too. Here's another a minus 3, a minus 3. Everything cancels except a what? An a plus 4. Okay. Now I'm begging you guys, please, if you're not sure how I factored or how I reduced, speak up now, because I want to show you. All we're doing the whole way down the page is factor, 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 cross out. Factor, 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 cross out. That's all we're doing. Okay, so we need to ask right up front, do you have any questions with the factoring? Anybody? All right, guys, I'm happy with that. All right, so let's take a look at number 10. Again, this factors. All right, 2 sets of parentheses. A minus 3 minus 3. Then here, that factors A, factors of 18 that make 3, 6, and 3, positive 6, negative 3. All right, and then again, don't forget, a minus 3 squared is the same as a minus 3 times a minus 3. Now again, what I want to do is, think about it, these are not interfering anymore. Okay, so now let's look at crossing things out. A minus 3, 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 a minus 3. Final answer, a plus 6. Now technically it's a plus 6 over 1, because if everything cancels, there's a 1. But we just don't do that. So this is not necessary, okay? And actually the parentheses aren't really necessary either, but because they were parentheses on the left, I like to just keep the parentheses. All right? Anybody have any issues? Anybody have any issues? Nobody? All right, here we go. Let's take a look at number 12. 12 is back where we're just cross reducing. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 10 twice. Now, none of the other numbers can cancel. 7, 1, 2, and 3. All right, so now we just multiply straight across. 7 times 1 is 7. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. Now again, we're looking at the A's. 3 A's on top, 1 A on the bottom. That leaves me A squared on the top. Now I have 3 B's, 7 B's, That leaves me with 4b's on the bottom. Anybody have any questions? No one. Everybody's good.
Yes.
All right. I can't emphasize, please, guys. I can't read your faces anymore because you're not in front of me. All right. So I don't know. Okay. And fractions, if you're good at fractions, you have a good foundation for Algebra 2. Okay. This is very important. All right. Here we go. Now, again, always we want to try to factor first. So the first thing I notice is 6t minus 12 has a common factor. That common factor is a 6. And then you factor out the 6, you're left with t minus 2. Okay? Now, the bottom left, there's a factor of 4, GCF 4. Factor out of 4, t minus 2. Is everybody okay with that? All right, now again, for me, it's not necessary, but I just want to show you. When you factor, sometimes those interfere, so I like to kind of cross them out so my eyes don't get distracted. So now, t minus 2 can cancel. Now 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice. 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 6 3 times. All right, now there's a lot of stuff everywhere, so you got to be real careful. All right, multiply the numbers first. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. Now you have to go back and not forget there's t cubed and t. That's where people make a mistake because there's so many lines that they don't see things properly. So that would be a t squared on the top. Everybody happy with that? Anybody have any questions? All right, again, please, I hope you feel free. You can jump in at any time and ask me a question. All right, let's go. 16. Now again, got to be careful. M squared minus n squared can factor. M plus 2, I'm sorry, m plus n and m minus n. Here, there's a common 4. 4 parentheses m plus n. I'm just crossing this out because I don't want to look at it. Is everybody happy with that? All right, now let's go for some crossing out. M plus n, m plus n. M minus n, m minus n. Final answer, m plus n over 4. How's that, guys? Everybody good? All right, here we go. Number 18. Okay. Now, in number 18, we're just doing a bunch of factoring. Y plus 5, y plus 5. This one, y plus 3, y minus 3. This guy right here, I can factor out a common y, y plus 3. All right, please speak up now before I go on if there's a problem. Now I just like to cross that out so I don't get, my eyes don't look at it. All right, now we're going to cross things out. Okay. Y plus 5, y plus 5, y plus 3, y plus 3. That's the only thing that can cancel. All right, so now we have y parentheses, y plus 5, and then on the bottom, the only thing that was left was y minus 3. All right, now one of the biggest mistakes kids make is they think they can cancel this y with this y. You cannot. You cannot cancel those. And the reason you cannot is because this y and this 3 are bound together with subtraction. You cannot cross out things bounded by addition and subtraction. The reason why we can cross the y plus 3 out up here and the y plus 3 out down here is because these two things are attached with multiplication. All right. Hopefully I made myself clear on that. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions so far? All right, guys. Here we go. Continue on. All right, number 20. All right. Parentheses. Factoring. All right. So that factors into x plus 3, or I'm sorry, x minus 3 and x minus 3. The bottom there's a common 4, so that becomes 3 minus x. This up here, there's a common x to the 4th, so that's x to the 4th, x squared minus 9. All right, now please put a little star right here because x squared minus 9 now can factor again. So this is really x to the 4th, x plus 3, x minus 3. And on the bottom, x squared, x minus 3. All right, now again, just for me, what I like to do is I like to cross them out so my eyes don't look at this one, they don't look at this one, they don't look at this one, here or here. All right, hopefully everybody understands what I'm saying. Now I'm going to write the fraction. First thing I'm looking at is x to the 4th, x squared. That leaves me with x squared on the top. There's a 4 here, so that goes on the bottom. So I'm saying you got to be real careful, okay? X minus 3, x minus 3. Uh-oh. Now please, I need someone jump in here. What does 3 minus x and x minus 3 cross out to?
-1.
Yay, whoever said that, I'm really proud of you. Thank you so much. All right, you're right. I threw a negative there. Very, very good. Very good. Okay. Now, there's nothing else to cross out. So we leave the x plus 3 and the x minus 3 on the top because those did not get canceled out. All right. So that I would consider was a hard one. Okay. Because there's an extra factoring problem than crossing out. Now, hopefully you understand why I kept trying to tell you early in the year, factoring is critical in every single math class that you be in. All right, you have to be good at factoring. All right, so let's knock out 22. All right, number 22 now, this guy factors into y minus 9 and y minus 1. This factors to y plus 1 and y minus 1. The bottom over here, factors of 36 that make 5 are 9 and 4, y minus 9, and y plus 4. And again, I'm just going to make this a little thicker. So now this I don't need to look at, this I don't need to look at, this I don't need to look at. Okay. So now y minus 1, y minus 1, y plus 4, y plus 4, y minus 9, y minus 9. Now notice, everything in the numerator canceled. If everything in the numerator canceled, there's a 1. And then y plus 1 on the bottom. All right, speak up now. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? All right, so you should feel really good. That means if you have no questions that you understand the multiplication. All right, now what I want to do is, it's kind of my fault. When I was looking at this worksheet that I found, I didn't realize this was an Algebra 2 worksheet, okay? So these are, believe it or not, Algebra 2 questions, all right? We don't really teach in Algebra 1 how to factor a cube. the difference of cubes. All right, it's not really that hard, but it's not necessary. All right, so I want everybody to look at 23, 25, well, 23 through 28. You can just kind of cross those out, put algebra 2. No reason to, you know, no reason to make it gross. Just put algebra 2 next to it. All right. Now we're moving on to division. Okay. So now I always remind kids, if I said to you, for example, 2/3 divided by 3/4, we would write that as 2/3 times 4/3. All right, so what do we say? Division changes to multiplication, and then you take the reciprocal, okay? And if you can do multiplication, you can do division, because all you're doing is multiplying by the reciprocal, okay? The annoying thing is you just have to rewrite it, okay? So think about what I'm saying now. All right, for number 30, I want you to write r cubed s over t times t cubed over r s cubed. And then it's just a matter of reducing, okay? I don't see any numbers, so I'm just going to start with the letters. R cubed and r gives me r squared on the top. Now I want you to look at s, and s cubed leaves me s squared on the bottom. And then of course we have t cubed and t, which leaves me with t squared on the top. All right. Anybody have any issues with division? Again, 32 is the same practice, really, just multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay, so let's look at it. So I want you to write u to the 5th x over y times y to the 4th over u x squared. And now it's just a matter of looking at the letters. U to the 5th, and u leaves me a u to the 4th on the top. And then x and x squared leaves me with an x on the bottom. And then, of course, we have y to the 4th and y, which leaves me with y cubed on the top. Anybody have any issues yet? Does everybody agree? Simple, simple, simple. All right. Now, 34. All right. Here we go, guys. This right here, all right, we're going to factor that first. All right. So we're going to write 2 sets of parentheses, 3x and x. The only factors of 1 are 1 and 1. 1x and 3x makes that 4x if they're both positive. All right. So anybody have any questions factoring? Okay. Now we're going to look at this denominator. Okay. The only way I can make 3x squared is with 3x and x. 2. I'm going to put 2 here, 1 here. I'm going to look here. That's 6. And 1 makes -5 if this is negative and that's positive. Huh? Now watch. This division changes to multiplication. Now please pay attention. This factoring problem goes in the denominator because we're multiplying by the reciprocal. All right? Open up parentheses. X times x, 3 and 1. I want it to be -2, so -3, +2. positive 1. All right. Now I really need people to look at this one right here. Okay, this is a sneaky one because there's a common -5. I need everybody to write down, you have to factor out the -5. Remember, I want the leading coefficient to be positive. So I factor out a -5. I'm then left with x squared minus 5x plus 6. Okay, when you factor out a negative, the signs changed. Notice this was negative, now it's positive. This was positive, now it's negative. This is negative, now it's positive. Okay? Now, the next hard thing is understanding this, guys. That I'm going to change colors here. This right here, this can now factor again. All right, so I want everybody to take note of that. All right, I have to factor that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this down a little bit. I'm going to lower this down just a little. All right, so when I factor, I'm leaving the -5. I'm factoring x and x. Factors of 6 that make 5, 3, and 2, both negative. All right, a little annoying, but not that hard if you can factor. All right, now what I want to do is I want to make this a little bit bigger, and I don't want this to get in my way, so I'm going to cross that out. All right, now here we go. 3x plus 1, 3x plus 1. X minus 3, x minus 3. X minus 2, x minus 2. What do we know? X plus 1, x plus 1. So everything canceled out, and the only thing that was left was the -5. All right. Now again, that was hard, so speak up. Anybody have any questions? Remember the goal: factor, 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 and more factoring, and then cross out, cross out, cross out. All right. Anybody have any questions? All right, guys. I hope you're with me. All right. Hope you're listening. All right. Let's do the next one now. All right. 30, there's nothing to factor there. The bottom, 2 sets of parentheses. I need y squared. Factors of 12 that make 4. 6 and 2. 6 to be positive, 2 to be negative. Times the reciprocal. Y minus 2 goes on the top, 6y on the bottom. Now again, just start crossing out. The y minus 2 and the y minus 2 cancel. 6 goes into 6, 1. 6 goes into 30, 5 times. Equals, what was left on the top is a 5. What was left on the bottom? Don't forget that y times y plus 6. All right, making progress here, guys. Anybody have any questions? All right, I'm pretty happy. All right, let's check out 38 now. Again, we're going to factor this one. All right, so I have x and x. Then I have factors of 28, positive 7, negative 4. Now I'm going to factor this one, x, x. Factors of 4 that make 4, positive 2, and positive 2. Times, now this one is in the numerator because that's doing the reciprocal. 2 sets of parentheses, x, x 7, 2, minus 7, positive 2. And now, of course, we're going to factor x squared minus 49. That's the difference of squares. X plus 7, x minus 7. All right. Now it's time to cross out. X plus 7, x plus 7, x minus 7, x minus 7, x plus 2, x plus 2. All right. And so we have equals x minus 4 over x plus 2. Any questions or concerns? All right, guys, let's continue on. All right, it's actually simple. Okay. So now we're going to write 9x to the 5th over 8y squared multiply by the reciprocal 16y to the 9th over 3x. All right. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 8 goes into 8 once. 8 goes into 16 twice. Okay. Equals 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. All right, now again, x5 and x leaves me x to the 4th on the top. Now again, I have y to the 9th, y to the 2nd, leaves me y to the 7th on the top. So again, that's my final answer. All right. But I do want everybody to know, is it necessary to have dividing by 1? No. So I can erase that, and I can erase that, and that's my answer. All right, so take a pause here and ask no one. Still, silence on all fronts. All right, guys, we're not too far from being done. All right, super proud of you. All right, hopefully you're saying I know how to factor, so this is easy. That's what I'm hopefully you're saying. Okay, number 42, here we go. Factoring out of 6. 6, parentheses, x plus 2, x to the 8th on the bottom, times the reciprocal, x cubed over x plus 2. X plus 2's cancel, equals 6 is the only number, 6. Now I'm looking at x cubed, and x to the 8th leaves x to the 5th on the bottom. Again, it's x to the 5th on the bottom because there are more x's on the bottom than on the top. Any questions? Nobody? All right, let's see what we have left. We don't have that much left. All right, so here we go. All right. Again, factoring x squared minus 4. That becomes x plus 2, x minus 2 over x cubed times the reciprocal. X plus 4 goes in the top. Now I'm factoring the GCF. There's a x to the 4th, parentheses, x minus 2. Anybody have any questions with that? Now we start crossing things out here, guys. X minus 2, x minus 2. Wow. That to me looks like all that can cancel. All right, so we put our equal sign, x plus 2 on the top, x plus 4 on the top. Now there's x cubed and x to the 4th, which makes x to the 7th on the bottom. All right, I still say if you can factor, hopefully you're agreeing with me, this is easy. If you can't factor, this is impossible, okay? So hopefully everybody's good, all right? 46, here we go. Factoring this one first, difference of squares, 5x plus 2, 5x minus 2.
It's a good question. I would probably do
The
it
bottom factors,
instead of side.
x plus 3,
First thing I can think of is
x minus 3. Division becomes multiplication, x plus 3, 5x minus 2. All right, again, remember, division changes to multiplication, and then we do the reciprocal. From there, let's go ahead. 5x minus 2, 5x minus 2, x plus 3, x plus 3. So we're left with 5x plus 2 over x minus 3. All right, any issues? Any issues, guys? All right, again, remember, just factoring. All right, here we go. 48. All right, first thing we're going to do is factor out of 5. 5 parentheses y minus x. On the bottom, there's nothing to factor, so we leave 15y cubed times, now we do the reciprocal. There's a common 3 here. 3 parentheses x plus y. Top x plus y, x minus y. So again, what's on the top became the bottom. What's on the bottom became the top. That's the reciprocal. All right?
Power, yeah.
Now what we're doing is we're crossing out. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 3 once. X plus y, x plus y. Okay, now the question, y minus x and x minus y. That factors to what? Someone?
-1.
All right, thank you. I'm glad someone's still with me. -1. All right, so now the only thing that's left in the numerator is -1, and the only thing left in the denominator is y cubed. So after all that, it's just -1 over y cubed. Okay? All right, I'm not sure how many more we have left. Oh, we have 2 more left. All right, guys, because the last part of 54, 56, the last 4 of the Algebra 2 problems. All right, so we don't have to do those. All right, 2 more to go, guys. All right, then we have no homework. All right, so please make sure you're with me. All right. All right, factoring the top, y plus 6, y minus 6. The bottom fraction, all right, factors of 16 that make 8. Y minus 4 and y minus 4. All right, times the reciprocal. Now this is factoring here. Y minus 4, positive 3. All over. Now here there's just a GCF. 3 is common. You're left with y minus 6. All right? Now we want to do is just cancel. Y minus 6, y minus 6. Y minus 4, y minus 4. That to me looks like it. It's all that can cross out. So equals y plus 6, y plus 3, 3 times y minus 4. And remember, you can't reduce any of the y's because they're bounded by addition or subtraction. The other thing I want to make perfectly clear is, watch this, guys. If I decide to put that one first and that one second, is that a problem? That is not a problem. The order in which you put the multiplication doesn't matter. All right? Everybody good with that? All right, I'm proud of you guys. Hopefully you feel good about it. All right? So let's look at number 52. Okay? So I'm factoring out an a, and I'm left with a squared plus 4. Now, I believe this was kind of a trick problem, but you have to remember, the only way you can factor a squared is if that is a minus, not a plus. So because it's a plus, you cannot factor it, okay? Just a good review question. All right, a squared minus 16, that would factor into a plus 4 and a minus 4 times, now you're factoring the denominator, move it to the numerator, a, factors of 20 that make 1, 5, and 4. So this becomes a plus 5, and this becomes a minus 4. All right? Now we're looking at the numerator, which becomes the denominator. 2 sets of parentheses. A times A. And then factors of 15 that make 8 are 5 and 3. And they're both positive. Okay? Now, let's change colors and start crossing out. I see a minus 4, a minus 4, a plus 5, a plus 5. Notice I really think they tried to fool you here by trying to get you to reduce a squared plus 4 and a plus 4. They cannot reduce because that's to the first power, okay? So it has to be exactly the same in order to reduce. All right, so put an equal to, all right? What was left on top was a parentheses, a squared plus 4. What was left on the bottom was a plus 4 and a plus 3. All right, anybody have any questions with that? All right, now I want to shrink this down a little bit, excuse me. All right, and just know the last 4 here are algebra 2, so I want everybody to mark that off, okay? Now what I want to do is I want everybody to listen to me for a second, all right? This is usually a 2-day event, all right? There weren't any interruptions today. I'm assuming there really weren't any questions. I'm pretty sure that means everybody knows what they're doing, all right? Now, I'm not trying to give you a lot of pressure here the last couple of weeks. I just want to teach you something that I think is important, right? This skill of fractions is really important. So all I'm interested in for you doing the rest of the day is I want you to look over the problems, the evens, and if I went too fast and you couldn't understand one, I want you to review it. That's all I want you to do. All the even problems, all you have to do is review, okay? If for some reason you had troubles and you didn't understand what I was saying, I'm going to post the video in about 5 minutes. The video will be up. You can go listen to it again, all right? I also have, if you continue on the bottom, I have all of the solutions, all right? So when you do the odds, you're going to be checking your work, all right? If you get confused, the video of the odds is already posted as well, all right? So there's lots of ways for you to figure this out, all right? The next time we meet, I'm probably not going to meet with you. I'm probably just going to say, okay, guys, it's your job to make sure that you get the odds done and turned in. And notice my work. It's organized, all right? It's neat, all right? The numbers aren't always the neatest, but everything is organized. This is how I want you to try to learn to work. You become a very good math student if you can organize your thoughts, all right? So please, I want quality work. No more work the rest of the day in math unless you're not sure about something or I went too fast. All right, I really just want you to review the evens. The next time we meet, I'm going to say, okay, guys, just do the odds. When you get done with the odds, turn in your work. There's an abundance of resources. You can listen to the video on how to do the odds if you're not sure. All right, there's the solutions at the bottom of the page that you're supposed to check and make sure you got them correct. All right, does anybody have any questions?
Do you want us to turn in the evens?
No, I don't want you to turn in the evens. What you're going to do is you're just going to turn in the odds, right? When you get done with the odds, you'll have the whole worksheet done. Then you turn it in. Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
for some of you guys, if you get bored playing your video games, you can do the math, okay? I'm not trying to press you. I'm trying to teach you responsibility as far as this is important, all right? If you want to be successful in high school, these are the types of things that you have to do, all right? So please review the evens. Then next Monday, I believe is when we meet, I'm just going to get on and say, okay, do the odds and turn them in, okay? If you don't have any questions or if you have no concerns, you're free to go, all right? If you didn't understand what I'm saying, I'll be happy to clarify it. Does anybody have any other questions? All right,
Nope.
if you have no questions, you're free to go. I hope you guys are having a great day. And, I'm sorry things are the way they are. All right, I wish I was at school, honestly. All right, so you guys have a great day. If you have a question, you want to hang out, you can ask me. All right. If not, you're free to go, guys. And the video will be posted in a minute. Have a great day, guys.